I'm back. Gold Squad TV, the Gold Squad General. I'm back in effect. Faces back up for y'all to see. Nothing much has changed. I still look like I'm 25, but I'm like 35, and I'm not even bragging. It's just it runs in my family. We don't age. Um, Gold Squad TV. I like to send a special, some special advice to everybody before I start this video. Um, by the way, we're doing Tuesday night, Tuesday Pro Wrestling Tuesdays basically right now. So before I even get into that, before I get into Tuesday Pro Wrestling Tuesday, I want to send a special advice to y'all. Self mental health and self care is very important. Don't you forget about that. Have some goals out here. I don't care if the goal's small. I don't care if the goal's big. Make it happen. Don't be out here trying to work for these corporations. Make your own lane and enforce it. I know that sounds movie stuff here, but man, we need to really start, especially as us minorities, we really need to start making our own businesses out here and start building from the ground up, man. This shit ain't promised. This shit is not promised. So everybody out here, self mental care, mental health, self care in general. It's alright to live your life and have fun, but make sure that when you're having fun, you're doing it because you have it inside your soul, and you want to have fun because it's something you're doing that's constructive. You never want to have fun. Like there's no sense in drinking a honey bottle and then going back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Drinking at home or going and drinking and driving and all that nonsense. Stop that. Doing all them drugs and stuff. Stop that. I'm not one to judge nobody, but stop that. There's a lot better out there for y'all. So I want to make sure that you guys all know that you guys all have talents inside. You just haven't reached them yet. You haven't gotten to the point of comfort to where you can push them out there. You're never too old. You're never too late. Just continue to do what y'all do. Make your money any type of way possible, but don't let this chump change that you're making just to get by stop you from doing something greater. You understand? Essential work is needed, but don't let essential work make you essential to the point that you cannot better yourself. Clear as day. All right, so Pro Wrestling Tuesday. Here's the question I got for y'all, and I'll give you my opinion like I always do. Who had the better year in the late 90s? 1998 was all Stone Cold Steve Austin. Once Shawn Michaels went out the picture with his back injury, it was all Austin. Austin, Austin, Austin. And yes, I remember how big that was. The Zamboni and Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Um, him stunning McMahon, putting a plastic gun which says bang and making McMahon piss his pants. Attacking him in the attacking McMahon up in the hospital. Being basically a two-time champion that year. Um, Going into '99, but he was still popular and still big. But '98 was Austin's year versus Dwayne the Rock Johnson's 2000 season. So we won't say 2000 to the triple zeros. A lot of y'all weren't even thought of in either one of these years. Some of y'all were, but before The Rock became the big movie star that we all know him to today, before he became Dwayne Johnson, the Fast and the Furious franchises and all them other movies that he do. He was The Rock with the sideburns, the pushback, when he actually had hair. He had probably the greatest single year of pro wrestling popularity to start this decade. Still to me hasn't been matched. The reactions him and Austin were getting those times specifically, separate years, were earth shattering. Like it's like literally earth shattering. You had people that didn't even like pro wrestling watching those two icons. Um, so who had the better year? Now let's break it down. The Rock's 2000 year. Austin goes out with the injury late '99, gets his neck surgically repaired. He's out. He doesn't really have a long, he's not really back for a year. Let's say so. He comes back maybe fall 2000. So all that before that was all The Rock. Rock had some legendary matches with Jericho, legendary matches with Triple H. I mean, did him and Triple H's rivalry really was at its peak in 2000. It started in '97, but it really hit its peak in 2000. Because also Triple H was becoming the top villain. He wasn't the Degeneration X Triple H that we all knew and fell in love with back in '98. The Rock has some great matches with Mankind as a tag team partner. He also has some great matches with Chris Benoit. Whatever you guys feel about him is what it is. But as a technical wrestler, as a gem technical wrestler, he got the best out of The Rock in those matches. The Rock started off the year and ended the year as the man. Kurt Angle might have had the belt towards the end of the year, but was not making no mistakes about it. That year was Dwayne Johnson's year. That's what put him in a whole different stratosphere. The next year is when he started working on movies like The Scorpion King and having his own. Eventually, the next year he did Rundown and a lot of those movies, which led him to leave wrestling in 2003, come back for a little coffee in 2004, and then kind of lead the game all the way into 2011. And then we get the Stone Cold. 1998 Austin. Steve, if I had a beer, I'd put the cheers up. December babies too, man. Salute. Different sign, but I still salute the general. Austin 316 means I just kicked your ass. Was something that I used to say a lot as a kid, and we all know kids used to always try to do wrestling moves back in the 90s, go and get in trouble in basketball locker rooms or stunning people left and right, not even doing it the right way. This is back in the pro wrestling days of the backyard wrestling stuff that you don't really see that much anymore of. But back then, it was really popping in the 2000s, in late 90s. Austin started up the year winning the Royal Rumble, throwing The Rock out. Earned his title shot against HBK, Shawn Michaels, Generation X leader at the time. Yes, this is coked out Shawn. For y'all that don't know, he was doing mad coke at one point. He doesn't apologize for it. Whatever. He was a different person at the time. He had suffered a back injury in that same Royal Rumble at a match versus The Undertaker, which is I have to on VHS to this day. I still see where he hurt his back. And I'm like, ooh. The fact that he even came back later in his career to come back and have a renaissance like that after that back injury. After Austin beats Shawn Michaels, after he beats Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14, he goes against Mick Foley, one of Mick Foley's personas, Dude Love, beats him, hits McMahon with the chair, gets into a war with McMahon pretty much the majority of the year. Had great matches with The Undertaker. SummerSlam 98 specifically. I know Austin says it's not one of his favorite matches, but to me, I'm telling you right now, that choke slam from the other side of the ring to the other, or Undertaker landing that leg drop off the top of the turnbuckle into Austin and the table, classic. And we'll do another video on SummerSlam 98 at some point. But right now, Austin ended the year pretty much on fire, man. He didn't have the belt, but he had a buried alive match with The Undertaker, bunch of matches with The Undertaker. The 2-on-1 handicap match, which Austin refed. Austin wrestled and lost to Kane and The Undertaker. Holding McMahon hostage. Having the cement go into McMahon's car. So we talking like really entertainment, even more than wrestling, Austin. The same thing about The Rock. Yeah, they had great matches, but let's really be honest, their bread and butter was entertainment. So when we talk about which year was better, 98 Austin versus 2000 Rock, when you have comment section debate, think about the whole summary of those years, if you can remember. If not, do the research. Leave your comments down below. I got more Pro Wrestling Tuesday coming. And salute. More coming. Gold Squad TV. Peace.